My name is Ben Smith. I'm originally from Australia and now I live in the United States. And my line of business is in real estate development, and I've been doing that for many years. In my family, I had an elder brother and a younger brother, and I had a stay-at-home mum, which was great, and my dad was an airline pilot, and we had a very happy upbringing. We went to a private school in Brisbane, where I had a great group of friends, and we got good grades without trying too hard. We played sports. We also played tennis at home quite a bit. One of our family homes when we were growing up had a tennis court. My dad loved to play tennis, and we'd also always hit the tennis ball together. Further to that, we went to the University of Queensland, which is a top university in Australia, and I studied engineering there. And then during my university years, I actually won a Young Achievers Award. That's a nationwide competition where they give out grants of $20,000 to start your business or to follow your dream, your idea. And we started putting our proposal together, and our idea was to create a business that took people on camping and surfing trips and teach them how to surf. So it was like a learn to surf school and camping kind of experience. And we went through the process and we ultimately won that competition, and we were given the grant, and we started our first business, which was a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work, and in the end we ended up taking language students and backpackers. They were our main customers, and we'd take them down the coast and go camping and surfing, and it was a really good eye-opening experience. It taught me a lot about business and how the world works in business. Ultimately, it wasn't really a very profitable business, but we learnt a lot, and we ran that business for about 3 years. And we used to go to all the seminars. So we went to one where they have like a big pit of burning hot coals, and you walk down the pit with your bare feet and all this kind of thing. It's like motivation, talking about how to be successful in business. I went to other specific ones that spoke about real estate strategies and all of these type of things. So I gathered a lot of knowledge from all different parts of the business and kind of success realm, and I started to kind of follow that, and that became my mantra and what I was really interested in, and I became very driven to be successful in the business world. And that was around 2002, late 2002. About the same time, my brother came across Falun Dafa. A friend of his passed him a book, and he read it, and he suggested that I read it. So I read the book, and it was quite interesting. I was quite open-minded. It was one of the introductory texts. And that led me to a local practice site, and I went down there on the weekend. So each time I went down to learn the exercises, afterwards for the next few days I had to continually use the restroom. And I didn't really think too much of this, but it happened the first time and then the second time. And after the third time, I mentioned it to the gentleman, the elderly Chinese gentleman who was teaching me the exercise, and I said, every time I come down here and do the exercises, I have to, next couple of days I'm always at the restroom, kind of clearing out the bowel end of things. And he kind of laughed, and he said, you need to read this book, which was the next book, Zhuang Falun, the main text of Falun Gong. And I was like, okay. So I took the book and I started reading it, and in the book it spoke exactly about this phenomenon, and it was a good thing. It was like clearing out the body, and that was like a real validating experience for me, because I hadn't read this book before, and yet these things were happening to me, and it just kind of all made sense. And I was like, wow, it's like I need to really pay attention and read this some more. So that, I guess, really helped me on my path, and really helped me become a solid practitioner of Falun Gong. As I learned more about Falun Dafa, and as I learned the exercises, and I could feel this strong energy in my body, and the principles is what had the biggest effect on me. I began to realize that a lot of the things that I was really pursuing in the material world that real success drive and trying to achieve certain things, it wasn't really what was fundamental, and it wasn't really what was really important to me. And the funny thing was, once I started to move away from that real success drive and focus more on these fundamental principles, my whole line of business changed. Everything started to open up for me, and that was really interesting to me because I'd been pursuing and really pushing on this path for a long time. But when I let it go, it all started to flow in. And I actually started a project with the gentleman who taught me the exercises right back, in the early days. And he had a piece of land, and we did a residential land subdivision together in joint venture. And we had anywhere from 4 to 8 large residential projects going at any one time. And it was a very, very busy time for us, very stressful. And I found that the principles of Falun Dafa really helped me during that time period. Having the clarity of mind, which I think the meditation exercise really helps with, being able to have a clear and focused mind and to be able to get things done quickly and easily made a huge difference. Having the stress levels right down, because you do the exercises, it relaxes you, and also it increases your energy level. So I was able to work longer and stronger because of that. The truth, compassion, and tolerance, each one of those principles was critical to the success of our business. And I learned early on that being very truthful, like being really truthful with people at all stages throughout a project, was invaluable. And it sounds simple, but to really live through that and to put that into action, it was very powerful for me. We used to deal with a lot of investors in our projects, and they can be quite demanding. Like I said, being able to put them first and to really think about what their needs were and to have that compassionate heart. We had investors that invested over and over and over again with us in each of our projects. In 2015, I moved with my wife and family to New York. My wife got a job opportunity over here, which she really wanted to pursue. So I supported her in that, and we moved over together. And my wife also practices Falun Gong, as does our little girl, our little 8-year-old. And so we've really been blessed with our family life. We have a very harmonious family, and we enjoy doing things together and practicing together. So it's been a fantastic few years for us over here in New York. And I really think, my whole life has been put on a path due to my practice of Falun Gong, and I'm just really happy about the way it's gone on from there.